The year is 2025, shelves are stripped bare, trucks have stopped rolling, and that humming refrigerator in your kitchen? Silent. The 2025 food shortage isn't coming, it's already here. The only question is your pantry the lifeline or your downfall? Hey, Survival Squad, listen up. If inflation, climate chaos, and supply chain breakdowns aren't on your radar yet, they should be. Reports warn that over 295 million people across 53 countries are facing acute food insecurity this year, a 5% spike from last year, and the ripple effect is hitting every single one of us. In a world where one late truck delivery can mean empty shelves for weeks, your prepper pantry isn't just storage, it's survival. And inside it, there are exactly 11 canned foods you cannot afford to skip if you want to ride out what's coming. Some are obvious, others. You'll kick yourself if you overlook them, especially number 6, the one most preppers forget until it's too late. Stay with me because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you which cans will keep you fed, fueled, and standing when everyone else is scrambling, and why every single one belongs in your pantry before the real crunch hits. Item 1. Canned tuna in oil. Tuna in oil isn't just a meal, it's a survival anchor. Right now, canned tuna prices are sky high. Retail tuna runs from $4.60 to $38 per pound, with oil-packed varieties hitting the upper end. Meanwhile, the global market, a staggering $39.6 billion in 2024, projected to grow at 4.4% CAGR through 2034. That tells you everything. Demand is surging, supply is tight, and this might vanish from store shelves before you know it. You need calories now, and canned tuna packs them in high. Oil adds fat, energy, and flavor, making it far superior to watery options when every ounce counts. But here's the kicker. Imports of canned tuna into the U.S. have shot up 35% in the first 5 months of 2025 alone. Not because people are eating more, but because businesses are scrambling to beat looming tariffs. That scramble will squeeze your pantry if you're not early to stock up. The ocean's catch volumes are shrinking, pushing production of tuna downward or flat at best, while demand climbs. That means every tin becomes precious. You can't just grab later when supplies tighten. So here's what you must do. Grab those oil-packed cans before they vanish. They're calorie-dense powerhouses with long shelf lives. The cost might sting today, but not having them when shortages hit, that sting will be far worse. Because in apocalypse mode, you'll prefer calories, not water. Stay sharp, stock smart, and get that tuna canned in oil locked into your pantry before supply chokes off. Item 2. Canned salmon. You're watching fresh salmon prices shoot up while grocery shelves remain unpredictable. Fresh costs have risen by about 1.4% year over year, making shelf-stable alternatives feel like lifelines. Now, canned salmon isn't just survival food, it's your smart, high-protein shield against uncertainty. In 2024, the global canned salmon market weighed in at roughly $3.7 billion. But, get this, it's poised to double by 2035 to around $7.7 billion. Another estimate sets 2025's total closer to $5.65 billion, climbing to nearly $9.74 billion by 2035 at 5.6% CAGR. That's not just growth, that's demand roaring higher as people scramble for stable, nutrient-dense options. You need that kind of reliability right now. Each can brims with lasting quality protein, omega-3s, and essential nutrients. And these aren't just pantry cliches. They're carefully validated superfoods as supply chains buckle under delays, costs, and climate shocks. Here's the cold truth. Fresh fish gets pricey fast. But canned salmon, it holds strong, packed in airtight cans designed to outlast chaos. Wild-caught versions dominate demand, cleaner, nutrient-rich, and worth their weight in survival credibility. Meanwhile, its longer shelf life plays perfectly into a prepper's worst-case scenario mindset. This isn't just about sustenance, it's strategy. When deliveries stall and prices spike, your pantry needs to fight back with food that's ready and resilient. Canned salmon isn't just smart, it's necessary. Up next, you'll meet item number 3, the one you'll swear you skipped, then regret missing when you need it most. Item 3, canned chicken, chunked chicken breast. Right now, as fresh poultry prices climb, canned chicken is quietly becoming your most dependable survival backup. In June 2025, poultry prices rose 3.4% year over year, driven by tight supply and soaring demand. Meanwhile, fresh chicken is almost double what it was in 1997, about 98% more expensive today. That gap isn't going away. But here's something that'll send a shiver down your spine. The canned chicken market alone reached $313 billion in 2025, and it's on track to grow at 7.3% annually for years. People aren't buying it for canned chili, they're stacking cases because it's stable, affordable, and packs protein-dense relief when everything else fails. This isn't trivia, it's real. In a world where the cost of feeding yourself can spike overnight, canned chicken gives you control. You hold the power to feed yourself, even if trucks won't roll or freezers fail. Think of those desperate midnight hunger hits, those panic dip moments when you'd trade anything for a bite. That's when canned chicken becomes your unsung hero, offering muscle, calories, and comfort all in one can. You can't afford to overlook it. As prices for fresh chicken balloon and show no sign of stopping, you need ready-to-eat protein in your pantry. Not next week, now. So grab a can and count it. Count on it, because when shelves are empty, that can is your lifeline. Item 4, Hormel spam. You've seen it on TikTok, Instagram, Reddit. Spam is having a savage comeback. People are air frying teriyaki spam, making crisp spam chips, even spicy spam bites. It's not just dinner, it's gone viral as comfort in crisis. Now add a sharp twist. The price is climbing. New U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum could hike canned food costs, including spam, by up to 15%. This just amplifies food insecurity for millions already stretched thin. Here's what that means for you. Imagine grabbing a can for $3.50 last year. Now it might cost $4. Why wait? In a crash scenario, every cent you save today buys food tomorrow. This isn't just low-calorie protein, it's ultra-calorie dense survival fuel. One can pack close to 1,080 kilocalories, keeps for years, and survives heat, chaos, blackouts. It's rugged pantry armor. Let me tell you how Redditors prep. One user confessed, in the height of COVID shortages, I bought a case of low-sodium spam at Costco as a backup protein source. It lasts forever on the shelf. That's you. Stocking up now means readiness later. Hit sales at Walmart, Costco. Get as many as you can before prices ratchet up again. People say Costco drops cases by $5, $7 during promo windows. Let's be real, spam is polarizing. Some call it glandular mystery meat. But in supply chain collapse, it's your lifeline. You'll ignore it at the store, then curse yourself when the fridge stops humming. So act. Grab those cans. Spam isn't just food. It's durability. It's security. It's the backup plan that doesn't let you down when everything else does. Item 5. Canned chili with beans. Canned chili with beans isn't just a pantry filler, it's a survival powerhouse. In 2025, the cost of a 15-ounce can has climbed an alarming 81% compared to less than 4 years ago, turning what used to be an affordable comfort food into a premium item. And the trend shows no signs of slowing. Manufacturers are pivoting to low sodium and organic options, but those carry even steeper price tags. For preppers, that means every can you buy now is an investment against an unpredictable future where shelves could be bare for weeks at a time. This can deliver more than flavor. It packs about 540 calories in a single serving, with the beans providing extra protein and fiber to keep you full longer. When the lights are out, the stove is cold, and you need quick fuel without wasting precious cooking resources, chili with beans becomes more than a meal. It's a morale boost in a can. On prepper forums, veterans swear by it for exactly that reason. One commented, "It's high sodium, but in a crisis, fat means energy, and chili gives you both." Another said, "It's their go-to meat source that won't spoil anytime soon." Compared to last year's prices, it's already more expensive, and the next spike is only a supply chain hiccup away. In a crisis, you won't be comparing price tags. You'll be deciding whether you have food at all, and that's why stocking up now matters. Keep it fresh by rotating your supply. Use the oldest cans first and replace them immediately. This first in, first out method ensures you're always ready without letting food go to waste. Scarcity sets in fast when disaster hits, and chili with beans gives you dense calories, protein, and fat in one compact, shelf-stable package. It's not about gourmet taste, it's about survival. Buy it now, store it smart, and you'll thank yourself when the crunch comes. In the world of prepping, this can is more than food. It's peace of mind. Item 6. Beef stew. Canned. Let's say canned beef stew isn't just food. It's a moment of calm when the world's collapsing. Right now, beef prices have jumped nearly 25% compared to last year, pushing people toward affordable, shelf-stable staples, like canned stew. That's the reality you're facing. Scarcity isn't coming, it's right at your door. You're watching those empty shelves, hearing whispers of supply chain breakdowns. You feel that panic, and you know you can't depend on fresh meat anymore. Canned beef stew becomes pitch perfect, solid calories, meat, and veggies all ready when your fridge fails. This spot holds roughly 24% protein per serving, not a sidekick. It's main character fuel. That means nearly a quarter of its weight comes from protein. In crises, that's not optional, that's survival grade. Compare that to freeze-dried meals or MREs. Sure, they're compact, but many can run $7 to $10 per serving, and you're trusting they're stocked. Canned stew, $2 to $3 per can, nearly half the cost. Same protein, real food, real calories. Storage is shockingly forgiving. Most canned meat products last 2 to 5 years when stored properly, and some brands push 25 years with long-term canning techniques. Your food shelf doesn't just sit, it becomes your lifeboat. Imagine the peace of mind knowing those cans are reliable, not dependent on freezing, electricity, or weekly trips to the store. Here's a curveball. There was a recall. Over 256,000 pounds of Dinty Moore beef stew pulled from shelves due to wood fragments found inside. No injuries, but for you, that's not fiction. That's a red flag. Check codes, rotate stock, stay alert. This isn't about comforting cliches, it's gritty real-world prep. You either have that protein-packed can at arm's reach, or you're risking hunger and regret. So grab enough, rotate it, keep it visible. Beef stew isn't just comfort, it's your ammunition when chaos hits. Item 7. Canned roast beef. The price of survival just rose. A 4-pack of Butterfield Farms roast beef, 12 ounces each, is $15.48 as of July 2nd, 2025. That's nearly $4 per can. Last year, you might have snagged one for under $3. Every price hike cuts deeper during a crisis. The shortage is real, and inflation isn't slowing. You need this. Now, roast beef in a can is protein on demand. No flames required. Heat it if you want, but open and eat works when power's out. You're stocking life, not gourmet dinners. In a full pantry, this would be one of many. But right now, it's the difference between I'm okay and I'm desperate. Prepped minds understand the gap between surviving and thriving. Let's talk reality. Redditors share home front hacks. One user said their kid dumped it straight into a rice cooker with eggs for a meal that just works. Another slathered mayo and seasoning on it, turned just fine into comfort. In prepper lingo, that's resourceful. Compare that to a can of roast beef from bargain bin brands. Some taste like mush packed with fillers. The Keystone all-natural version, beef and sea salt, nothing else, hits closer to the real deal. That's quality, not sheen. This is about your emergency protein layer, not last night's dinner, your tomorrow's lifeline. Think about what happens when supply chains snap completely, when fresh meat is a memory and bread becomes scarce. You want a can that holds up. Texture, calories, minimal additives, ready any hour. Your move is straightforward. Put down the impulse junk, grab the canned roast beef. Rotate it in with other proteins. Stick it where you'll get to it fast. A storm, a blackout, civil unrest, everything moves faster then. When others panic, you'll reach for that can and your mind stays steady. And that's real power. Item 8, canned beans. Chickpeas, baked beans, pinto beans. Prices are spiking. Global food prices jumped over 7% year over year in April 2025. Canned beans, once cheap staples, are being gobbled up faster than canning factories can keep up. Shortages loom. You're not just stocking food, you're stocking food security. Beans aren't just cheap, they're nutritional gold. Each can deliver protein and fiber that fuels your body and your brain. Right now, you may be paying 10 to 15% more per can than you were a year ago. That's not inflation, it's a red flag. The kind that says, act now, or future you pays the price. You need these beans. And not just one kind. Chickpeas, baked beans, pinto beans, they stretch your dollar, fill your gut, and stay good for years without fancy labeling. One Reddit prepper put it bluntly, got a couple large bags of dried pinto beans and rice. We eat it every week, so it just makes our pantry deeper. You can't afford to fall behind. Imagine a week when fresh veggies vanish, hunger hits, but your shelf, it's whispering back, I've got your back. So you're not stuck on ramen or empty shelves, you're mixing chili, stews, hummus. Beans give you options. Comfort, a sense of control. But here's where most people trip up. They stock only chili beans or only baked beans. Variety matters. Each type brings different nutrients and meal possibilities. Pinto beans simmer into savory stews. Chickpeas become hummus or curry. Baked beans? That's comfort on the darkest day. Even better, they keep well. Low-acid canned foods like these often stay safe for 2 to 5 years or more. If stored right, that's shelf life that breathes reassurance, not desperation. So stop delaying. Get your hands on every canned bean you can. Rotate, organize, stack. Because when supply chains break, and they will, your prepper pantry doesn't just feed you, it anchors you. Item 9. Diced tomatoes or whole peeled. Tomato lovers, brace yourself because the numbers are turning ugly. In 2024, global processing tomato production already faced a hit from erratic weather and water shortages. Now, in 2025, industry reports show an 11.5% drop in global output, and for the US, tariffs on Mexican tomato imports are set to climb as high as 17%, meaning higher prices will hit your grocery store before the summer even starts. This isn't a maybe. It's already in motion. Think about last year when a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes cost you around $1.29 on sale. As of early 2025, some regions are seeing those same cans creeping past $1.99, $2.29, and that's before the peak shortage months. For bulk buyers and preppers, that difference adds up fast. What used to be an afterthought in your shopping cart is now becoming a budget decision. That's not because people suddenly woke up craving marinara, it's because more households are turning to shelf-stable staples as fresh produce prices spiral out of reach. When crises hit, whether it's a food shortage, inflation spike, or transportation breakdown, fresh tomatoes are the first to vanish. What's left? Canned goods. And among them, diced and whole-peeled tomatoes are pure gold. Why? Because they're the foundation of comfort food. Soups, stews, chili, pasta sauces, curries, they give you flavor, acidity, and a nutritional boost when your options are slim. When shelves are empty and you've got only rice, beans, and a can opener, that bright red tin turns a survival meal into something that feels human. But there's another layer, nutritional resilience. Canned tomatoes retain their vitamin C, potassium, and lycopene for years when stored correctly. That means long after fresh produce wilts, you've still got a reliable source of immune-supporting nutrients. In a prolonged shortage, that matters more than most people realize. The fear here isn't running out of spaghetti night, it's losing a versatile ingredient that can stretch your pantry into weeks of balanced meals. Once those prices climb and stocks thin, you'll be competing with everyone else, scrambling to grab the last few cans. So act before the rush, stock up while they're affordable and plentiful, keep them in a cool, dry spot, rotate your stash, and remember, in a true crisis, diced tomatoes aren't just a recipe ingredient, they're a survival strategy. Lock this in now because the next item on the list will show you just how fast a forgotten staple can turn into the one thing you wish you had. Item 10. Mixed vegetables / whole green vegs. They say fresh is best, but what if fresh disappears overnight? In 2024, U.S. per-person availability of vegetables tumbled to just 376 pounds, the lowest in nearly 4 decades. That drop doesn't just whisper trouble, it screams that fresh produce is becoming a luxury. You need backups. And that's where your broccoli from a can moves from joke to genuine survival edge. Those tins stocked with green beans, peas, corn, they're quiet, unsung heroes when the world's garden dries up. Here's the cold reality. The global market for canned vegetables is growing, not shrinking. From $11.16 billion in 2024, it's expected to hit $11.54 billion in 2025 and climb steadily toward $15.07 billion by 2033. That's a 3.4% CAGR driven by people craving long-lasting, reliable nutrients when shelves under pressure crack. Nearly 2/3 of urban consumers now regularly keep canned veggies in their pantries. You aren't hoarding unnecessary tins. You're joining the silent majority who prepare for when produce aisles betray them. Fresh vegetable prices are volatile. The USDA's June data shows farm-level prices dipped slightly, 1.7% down from May 2025, but still 20.7% lower than June 2024. That sounds okay, until you remember, volatile supply chains and extreme weather can change that overnight. Canned mixed veggies last. Low-acid canned foods, including your green beans, corn, peas, can safely endure for 2 to 5 years or even longer if stored wisely. And here's the real kicker. Canned veg often retain or even enhance nutrient availability compared to fresh. Heat makes fiber more digestible. Vitamins stick around longer. In food crises, nutrient timing matters. You want flavor? You got it. Nutrients, locked in, shelf life, multi-year. And when rad household budgets snap, that can of peas isn't save-the-day theatrics. It's a literal life support upgrade. So don't wait, stock those cans now, before that 2-for-1 sale becomes sold out. Keep them dry, cool, rotated. Ensure every meal can still pack greens when your local markets can't. You've got foundation-level staples like proteins. But foundational health, that comes from those tiny kernels of green and yellow. If you skip these canned greens, your pantry may save you. But your body, that's on borrowed time. Item 11, coconut milk, canned. The coconut milk market is exploding and not in a good way. In 2024, it was worth about USD 1.85 billion. By 2035, projections hit USD 7.67 billion, riding a fierce 13.8% compound annual growth rate. Even more conservative forecasts still expect major jumps from USD 0.22 billion in 2024 to USD 0.79 billion by 2033, courtesy of a 17% CAGR. Those are not just numbers, they're red flags in bold. That jump isn't because people suddenly fell in love with latte art, it's because more of us are scrambling for shelf-stable staples, plant-based diets, flavor-packed survival meals. That creamy shot of coconut milk might be your pantry MVP when fresh dairy disappears. You're not just stocking ingredients, you're buffering against inflation, chaos, and those supply chain nightmares that seem to hit hard every single year. Let's talk price. Restaurants have seen wholesale coconut milk prices crack as high as $11.37 per gallon before dipping back near $10 toast POS. If your local store used to sell a can for, say, under $2, that window is closing fast, especially when bulk demand surges. Why should that matter to you? Because coconut milk isn't just a curry base. It's your unexpected ally in breakdown mode. It adds creaminess without dairy. It stores longer than fresh milk. It fuels metabolism with fat-rich medium-chain triglycerides, style MCTs, even when options are sparse. And yes, chefs like Uni Kim Morena rely on it as a secret weapon for resilient restaurant-grade dishes. Now here's why you need to care today. If demand continues rising, and it will, you won't just pay more. You might not even find canned coconut milk on the shelf. Once supply shortens, restocking stops. This is more than cooking logic, it's survival logic. In a crisis world, coconut milk helps transform bland into bold, sparse into sumptuous. Soup turns silky, veg stew gets depth. A spoonful of curry can carry you through hunger and morale dips, so secure your stash while it's still sitting on shelves. Store it properly, cool, dry rotated, get enough to stretch your pantry weeks deeper. Because the next time prices go vertical or deliveries stall, you'll be glad you had that can. Here's the truth. Canned food is one of the few things in your pantry that can outlast almost anything. The USDA says sealed low-acid cans, think meats, vegetables, stay safe to eat indefinitely if the can's not damaged. High-acid foods like tomatoes, they'll keep peak quality for 12 to 18 months before flavor starts to fade. That's not just storage, that's insurance. But even canned gold can turn into waste if you don't manage it. The smartest preppers run on the FIFO rule. First in, first out, eat the oldest cans first, replace them immediately, and never let your emergency stash shrink. Keep everything in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. And if a can is dented, rusted, or bulging, don't risk it. Toss it. If you want to level up, splurge on a rotating rack. It's not just neat, it forces FIFO automatically. No more forgotten cans in the back turning into mystery meals from 2017. And here's another edge. Bulk buying. Stores like Costco are leaning into prepper demand, selling apocalypse kits and bulk buy deals that make sense if you've got the space. But remember, stocking up isn't just about calories, it's about morale. In hard times, being able to cook meals you actually enjoy keeps your head in the game. So buy what you'll eat what you buy, and keep your pantry a place of strength, not dust. So there you have it. 11 canned foods that can turn your pantry into a fortress against the 2025 food shortage. These aren't just groceries, they're security, they're peace of mind. And when shelves run bare, they could be the difference between staying calm and going hungry. Don't wait for prices to spike or for your local store to look like a ghost town. Start now, build your stash, rotate it, protect it. If you found this list useful, hit that like button hard. It tells the algorithm this is the survival intel people need. Drop a comment below and tell me which one of these canned essentials is already in your pantry and which one you're grabbing next. And don't forget, subscribe, because every week we share practical, no-fluff prepping tips that keep you ready before everyone else even sees the storm coming.